hits keep on coming. Just keep on coming. The head of the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, comes out with this memo talking about how there's this terroristic threat. And oh my God, there's a direct threat, and we need to watch out for these domestic terrorists who are sowing seeds of sedition and insurrection. Oh my God, with their unhinged conspiracy theories and on, blah, 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 and believing in fiery rhetoric and all this kind of fucking shit, all this veiled fucking language, but you know who he's talking about, right? Which is funny because, yes, there were patriots that did bad things on January 6th. Nobody's denying that. And if you are denying that, you're like being naive. But there were also Antifa there. There were also anarchists there. The bad people. It wasn't just all patriots. It looks bad because while it was going on, you see Trump flags all around. There's videos of guys there that showed up all in black, and then they're in the bushes putting on Trump gear. There's video, you can see it. So, and it was a bad thing. Now, all the riots that's been going on since that man died in Minneapolis, that's last year, it seems like a fucking century ago. There's been non-stop riots and looting and assaulting of police officers. Like 2 police officers got shot yesterday in Houston. It just goes on and on. Billions of dollars of damage. Over 700 officers injured. How many federal buildings were attacked? Right? Way more federal buildings attacked. And I watch this because these idiots are so dumb. They stream their own crimes. You can watch this every day on the internet. Twitch. There's all these woke fuckers that stream. They have their snappy little names, right? Antifa Andy or whatever. It's all fucking radical anarchists, and they stream their crimes and they mix it in with the Black Lives Matter people. Now, Black Lives Matter might be doing a protest, right? BLM, da da da, marching down the street, which again is weird because they get to march down the street, right? They get to march down the street, and when the Patriots do it, they get arrested. It's funny. But anyway, this has been going on for over 250 days, all over the country. Okay? There's been way more Black Lives Matter, way more Antifa riots than on the right. Has there been a few right things that happen? And all they do is they just beat up Antifa. They don't burn down buildings. They don't rob people. They don't loot. They don't steal. All they do is get into fist fights with Antifa. Yet they're the most demonized. This whole memo that the DHS guy put out, all it is to demonize people on the right. Like the threat is from the right, which is fucked up because I've watched it for 250 days straight, and it's 99% BLM Antifa protests that end up like that. Yet they're not the ones demonized, right? They're going after all these people that went to the freaking Capitol. Meanwhile, there's been people attacking the federal building in Portland, the federal building in Seattle, right? They overtook 6 square city blocks in Seattle. Armed takeover. You want to talk about insurrection? They held that thing for like 2-3 weeks. Remember? And like 5 people got murdered in there. Finally, the mayor had to go do something about it. Right. Everybody forgets these things, man. Kentucky, LA, New York, Atlanta, Kenosha, Wisconsin. All these fucking places. And it was all Antifa BLM riots. Minnesota, some guy shoots himself because he had just murdered somebody, and he was going to get cornered by the police, and he didn't want to get caught, so he shot himself in the head. They rioted anyway and blamed it on the police. Then when the video came out, they're like, oh, sorry, What did the mayor of Minneapolis do then? Nothing. He didn't do nothing. Not a damn thing. Now they're coming out with this, and like some of the language in this DHS memo, you could say they're including Antifa too. But it's funny how only now they're doing something about it, when they didn't do anything about it for 7 months straight. Now it's a direct threat to democracy. Now it's a direct threat to the republic, right? After the election. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to see it was allowed to go on in these, again, all those cities I fucking named, they're all Democrat-controlled cities. It was allowed to go on to just throw more shade on Donald Trump. It's obvious. Totally obvious. I mean, why now is it a national threat? Why now is the DHS secretary going on about it? I mean, when the president himself said Antifa is a terrorist group, when all these Republican senators were calling it out, everybody was saying Antifa is a myth. It's not an organization. Oh my God, these are mostly peaceful protests. That famous reporter from CNN standing in front of a building on fire, and saying this is just a mostly peaceful protest. Ted Wheeler going down saying, "Yep, I haven't seen," and they're in the middle of a riot. He's getting tear gas in the face. He's like, "I don't see anything freaking violent." These politicians, these leaders, these people on the left, they think we're stupid? They think we don't see this? That they allowed this to happen? I mean, you want to talk about inciting violence? The reason why January 6th happened was because all this other shit happened before. You have to remember that guy, that black guy in Minnesota, that happened in May of last year. This has been going on since then. And even before then, Black Lives Matter and Antifa were doing shit like this. Even before then. I got into an argument with my liberal friend about it. He's like, they're mostly peaceful. That's the word he used. And I just fucking lost my shit. What the fuck are you talking about, man? But I had to step back and say, you know what? He probably only watches CNN. They don't show that on CNN. They don't show that on NBC, CBS, ABC. They don't show that shit. And so they're going to use this to demonize conservatives and totally censor conservative. Anytime a conservative does something, it's going to be interpreted as a domestic terror. This is so wrong on so many levels. And really, there's no recourse because they control the country now. No recourse. I mean, like I said in that video yesterday, the lady just said that she had joined Parler and she got fired for it. She got fired for it. Am I going to show up on some lists? Because I had Parler. I used to read Parler until they shut it down. I never posted on Parler, but I would read the shit on there. Am I going to be put on some list because I was a part of Parler? And then is somebody going to look at it like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do anything. Like some bank going to go, I can't do anything for you because you're on the Parler list. It sounds inconceivable, but this is where they're going with this. It pisses me off so hard because it's like I used to see people post shit on Facebook and Twitter, horrible things. Liberals post horrible fucking things and nothing ever happened to them. I never fucking wrote Twitter or wrote Facebook and said, hey, you know, this guy is fucking spewing hate speech. I never did that because I'm like, hey, if that person wants to be an idiot in my eyes, that's his choice. But those same people who I defended by doing that, I defended their right to free speech by not reporting them, by not fucking being a Karen. They want to take away my right to free speech. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to just lay over and take it? Because it doesn't end here. That's the scary part, is it doesn't end. Once they've eliminated all the conservatives, our voice anyway, because they're not going to eliminate us per se. They're going to eliminate our voice, but not us. Once they do that, they're going to come after something else. Once Black Lives Matter gets what they want, right? Because the president is openly saying he's going to cater to them. Once they get what they want, then it's going to be what other racial group is going to stand up and have grievances? Is it going to be the Latinos? Is it going to be the Asians? Who's it going to be? It's not going to stop. And if they cater to one, they're going to have to cater to the next. And at the very end, the only one that's going to be left is the white man. And you know what? Everybody's going to be persecuting the white man. And they will have no recourse because they will be they're already demonized already. And what's funny is a lot of these white people that are on this Black Lives Matter racial equity fucking trip, they're only doing it because they're scared. They're scared that they're going to be put on some list. They want to feel better about themselves. And 99% of them never did anything bad. But they're so scared. Is it wrong to be a racist? Of course it is. But under the First Amendment of the Constitution, it's not illegal. It's not illegal to be a racist. But that's what they're pushing for. That is what they're pushing for, to make racism illegal. Well, all those things I listed, that's a form of racism. I mean, what are they going to do when in one of these protests they drag out a white man like they did Reginald Denny in 1990 LA riots? What are they going to do when they do that to a white guy and kill him on camera? There'll be a helicopter circling around. There'll be a full-on riot. They're going to pull out a white guy and beat him to death. What are they going to do then? What are they going to say? Oh, it's justified? Heck, if it keeps going the way it is, that probably might happen. I mean, what are the white people in the Black Lives Matter and Antifa movement, what are they going to say when that happens? Oh, he was a conservative. What if it turns out he wasn't a conservative? What if it turns out that he was like a freaking Buddhist or something? What are they going to say then? That's where we're headed. And it's freaking scary. Scary as hell. But it's right around the corner. It's January 27th. And it's like here. It's like here. 7 days, a week of this administration, and it's already here. Scary. Very scary. And again, half the country, half of my brothers and sisters, because I consider everyone in this country my brothers and sisters, are fucking idiots. Half the country are truly idiots.